All right, welcome in. It is Wednesday. It is time for Total Bases. I had a good night last night. I think we talked about a lot on this show that actually happened. Unfortunately, the one thing that didn't come through was the Padres to kill the parlay. We went 2 out of 3. Tokyo Brandon, I mean, you came on and said there was going to be 20 runs in the Dodger game and a position player was going to be pitching at the end. And there was 21 runs in the Dodger game and a position player was pitching at the end. Brian, easy win on the Nationals. Unfortunately, the Padres just couldn't get over the hump. It looked like they might have a chance at the end, but we nailed the Yankee game and a whole bunch of other, I think, stuff. I mean, can I get like a shout out for the Mookie Betts home run call? I have Andy Lang texting me at midnight. He's like, Trigg, I played it. I played Mookie home run. I think he hit 2. So I think it was a good day on the show, even though the parlay didn't come through. Tokyo Brandon, I think you had a good night last night, so I'm going to go to you first. Tell us about your night and then kick us off with Yankees, Royals, Amazon Prime. Can't believe that that's where we watch baseball in 2026, but that's going to be our feature game today, Yankees, Royals to you.
Okay, yeah, I went 4-0 last night. It was a good night. Like Ice Cube says, today was a good day. Last night was a good day. So, and I just won my KBO. I had Samsung minus 1.5. They were up 2-1, and then they scored 2 in the 9th to win it for me. So things are kind of going well. But, you know, good luck and bad luck, they both happen at the same rate. So you can't get too caught up in good luck, and you can't get too caught up in bad beats because they're going to happen at the same rate. The rest is all up to you, right? So, but yeah, I felt pretty lucky about that. I don't feel lucky about my 4-0 because I think they were good bets. And yeah, a position player did come in and give up 4 runs, I think 5 runs to Colorado in the 9th inning. But yeah, that over cleared quite easily. So on to the Yankees today. I've already put out on my Twitter X, Tokyo_Brandon, the pitcher matchups. And Cameron has a 1159 OPS against these batters in 35 at-bats, while Garrett Cole in 86 at-bats against has a 382 OPS against these batters. So obviously a huge pitching advantage, but I'm looking at Garrett Cole as a little bit of an X factor because he just made one start. Don't really know what to expect, but he has dominated these guys when he's good. But again, these OPS numbers that I put out on my Twitter, you have to take them. You can't base a bet on them, but what you can do is when you feel one way, and they should take you over the hump, basically, but you can't base a bet on them because these stats could have been compiled 5 years ago, 3 years ago. And let's face it, Garrett Cole 5 years ago was a lights out pitcher, but now we don't really know if he's a lights out pitcher. He had a decent start coming back, but we do know that Noah Cameron gets bombed by these Yankee batters. I'm a little bit weary, though, because the Yankees scored so much yesterday. I'm not sure if 2 days in a row expecting double-digit runs is a thing. So I'm actually going to lay off this game, but everything points towards the Yankees. They have the better bullpen. I have them ranked 7. I got the Royals ranked 19 in bullpen. Yeah, everything else. Garrett Cole, I have him ranked higher, but again, a little bit of an X factor there. So aside from yesterday, though, the Yankees bats were pretty cold. So a little bit of conflicting data, but Yankees would be the only way I would go, but I'm probably not going to bet it.
Yeah, Brian, what do you make of this one? Let's get you in here. You know, the Royals, they had the first game of this series. They choked it away in the 9th. We talked about yesterday being sort of as good of a matchup as you could ask for the Yankees. Does it feel like they maybe got overvalued again a little bit here off of yesterday's huge result?
Yeah, we ended up splitting, going 2-2 yesterday. Did lose my top baseball play. 5 home runs in that Boston Red Sox game. I talked about how it was the worst spot in baseball to hit home runs based on percentage of balls that are fly balls. And 5 home runs, you're never going to win an under on a 5 home run. So I apologize for that. But we had a shutout in our hockey game and broke even overall. So a little disappointing, obviously, but hopefully we get it back today. Yeah, the Yankees, that was a great call. And unfortunately, as much as I liked the Yankees yesterday, as well as the Dodgers, I didn't end up with either one of them. But hopefully people who watch the show were able to get that, because those great calls on those. But yeah, I have the same concerns about Cole as TB does. It's only a second game back. And all of his stats, because he hasn't pitched in so long, all of his stats are a little bit questionable, his historical stats. But you cannot find a way to get me to not play the Yankees here against a lefty. Is I talked about it yesterday. They are the best in baseball hitting against lefties, and they proved that once again yesterday. And Cameron's one of those guys who has found ways to win for Kansas City. He's been definitely somebody that they have counted on a little bit in the last couple of years. But if you take a look at his surface stats, he's okay. But if you take a look at it, more of a deep dive, he's been a little bit lucky. He was a little bit lucky last year, but it continues on. And once in a while, you'll find people like, Abbott for the Reds has been that way his entire career. So maybe he's in that same boat, but it's probably too early to tell. But he's been one of their more consistent pitchers. But yeah, you were on this Kansas City team. You take a look at their lineup. The top of the lineup, their first 4 or 5 guys are pretty decent. But after that, it's all like 4A guys. And if you take a look at the guys they have on the bench, like today, they'll be facing a righty, so they'll have all their lefties in the lineup, which are actually better than when they face a lefty and you got to put in all those right-handed guys. The right-handed guys are all veterans that have already proven they're not any good. And they got one guy on there who's just a speed merchant, and he's not even a good hitter at all. So yeah, if Kansas City is going to score, I think they score more against lefties against righties than they do lefties. So I think Kansas City will get a couple of runs here. Both bullpens, neither one of them had to use their best bullpen arms yesterday. So the bullpens are going to be available. If it's a close game, both teams are in a good shape there. But the only way I would play it would be the Yankees. But like as I usually say, there's other games on the board that have me more interested than that one. Yankees are nothing for me.
Yeah, well, we may all agree here. Noah Cameron, so if you go back to earlier this season, he was like a big sell for me at the beginning of the year. Pointed out that I felt like he was very lucky last year. Also, that is just watching him toward the end of last year. There was a game toward the end of last season where he got blown up by the White Sox, and I was kind of just like, did the league, and at the time his numbers were insanely good, right? The ERA, the WHIP were very low, and I'm just like, how is the league not like pounding this dude? He doesn't really have like stuff that pops. I just didn't feel like he had like true like big league stuff. So coming into this year, I made a point to fade him when I could find spots to do so, and I had success doing it. And then Brian, you point out the underlying stuff. If you use Baseball Savant, it is as blue as it gets, right? Blue bad. If you use the Baseball Savant page, blue equals bad. Pretty much all bad for Noah Cameron, and some of it is really bad. Some of it's like bottom 10% of the league bad. You can get away with being a strike thrower in the minors and throwing 92, staying around the zone, mixing it up a little bit. It's tough to do that in the majors unless you have either A, insanely good command, and you hit every spot, really, and B, at least one pitch that's super, super competitive. You can't just roll into the big leagues with 3 or 4 average pitches and expect to not get knocked around at some point. That's what's happening to Cameron. I don't really think it gets much better this year. And now you're up against the Yankees lineup that kind of just broke out yesterday. So I like the Yankees. I also maybe even more like Yankees over 4.5 seems like it probably plays here. You're getting full 9 at-bats. So you're getting that 9th inning at-bat no matter what. It's like minus 125. I think if you don't want to lay minus 145, which I actually think is fine. I think that price is fair. I don't think it's a crazy bet to lay minus 145 with the Yankees. I think you could take a team total over here. I got a 5%er tonight. Got to get that out there. One spot I absolutely love tonight. That is locked in for 5% play. I had a 2-0 day yesterday. My Major League Baseball play, the side I picked won, but I do not get credit for it because there was a pitching change. And I want to go to that game because I got a lot of questions about this yesterday. And I said I would sort of talk about this on the show today. So, Brian, I'm going to start this one with you. Yesterday I had a 4% play on the Mariners that got canceled. Reason it got canceled, the A's decided to scratch Luis Severino and move him to later in the week. Now, my handicap was so heavily based on the Mariners matching up well with Severino that it was just a no play for me. I like Gage Jump. He's someone I followed in the minors. I didn't want to go against him. However, if you betted action or you just said, the hell with it, I'm going to play the Mariners anyway, you ended up winning. They won the game. The other half of the handicap for me was Emerson Hancock pitching well. He pitched well. So I said to people, hey, I will address this game on the show today. I'll let you know if you can still play it. And my answer is, well, not really, because the A's decided to get Severino the heck out of this series. The Mariners are I think they lead the American League right now in WRC plus against right-handed pitching. And so the A's very intelligently said, hey, let's go with another lefty today. We're going to use Springs in his normal spot. So I can't bet the Mariners now. How are you seeing Mariners A's?
Yeah, I actually had more interest in the A's yesterday after they brought up the rookie, who is probably the best arm they have on this team.
Yep, for sure.
If you're looking at his minor league numbers, I live out here in Vegas. A lot of these ballparks out here are really, it's tough to bring a guy in from AAA to the majors out in the Pacific Coast League, because most of the leagues are really high altitude. In fact, that's where the A's play. The A's minor league team plays there, and that's actually one of the better pitching places in the Pacific Coast League. So you see how many runs are scored in Sacramento, and keep in mind that's one of the better pitching places in the Pacific Coast League. This is going to be my parlay. My parlay today is we got Gilbert on the road against the Athletics with Springs, the lefty. Gilbert's basically about a 125 favorite right now with a total of 9. But I saw the same thing as the Oakland A's did, or excuse me, whoever they're called now, the A's. Seattle's not good versus lefties. Seattle on the season, this is a team that has major differences between lefties and righties. WRC plus on the season, Seattle Mariners 76 versus lefties. The only teams that are better than are the Colorado Rockies, Texas Rangers, and San Diego Padres, just slightly better than the last two I spoke about. Against righties, they're 117. They're up there with the Dodgers, the Atlanta Braves. They've been very good in that regard. So yeah, Springs is a guy who is a little bit different. A guy is he's not going to blow you away with his stuff, but he has success. And you see the total in this game is 9. That's kind of a low total for this ballpark. It's an afternoon game. It'll be starting at 3:00 Pacific, 12 noon. 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. I've been to this ballpark, and it is hot as hell many times in the afternoon. Really hot. That's always has a major effect on the pitchers. And with Gilbert going, he's a guy that you expect to go 6-7 innings when he pitches. He's that good, and he gives you a lot of length. He may not be able to give you that length in this ballpark here in the weather conditions. I like Springs here. We're getting the Athletics off of a bad performance, and you're getting them at plus anywhere from plus 110 to plus 115 out there. I'll say plus 112. I'll take them. But this is a team off a bad performance yesterday, and I would have no problem taking the Seattle team total under. I would have no problem playing the Athletics in the first 5. So this is the one game that I really like. The difference between Seattle, a lot of teams, this doesn't make a big difference. They've got enough lefties or righties where it can match up well. Seattle doesn't. Seattle's a team against lefties. If you can catch them as an underdog, that's the way to play them. And so I'll take the Athletics here at plus 112.
A's plus 112 for Brian. He kicks off the parlay. I'm throwing it to you, TB, to talk A's Mariners, but I got to defend my guy TB for. All he did was point out that Mookie has been poor to this point in the season.
Yeah.
He played the over, so clearly he wanted the Mookie Betts runs. He was just saying, like, the dude's got to get his head out of his butt. He's batting 180, and he's, like, still out there in the 2 slot. So TB, they should be bowing to you after a 4-0 day, so props to you. But jump in here on A's Mariners. Let us know what you got going here.
This is why 99% of people who bet sports lose, because you focus on the wrong thing. You focus on the Mookie Betts comment when I went 4-0. I mean, guys, you got to focus on what matters. What matters is winning money, and I did. So screw your Mookie Betts comments. But it's true, when I badmouth someone that bad, they always come back, just like the Brewers.
We joked about
TB, and Andy Lang messaged me, and he's like, I had to bet it as soon as talk, and then you were like, Mookie probably has a day. He's like, I bet the Mookie home run, and he's blowing me up. It's like 11 o'clock. He's like, there it is.
A lot of people did, and he had 2.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It's been on the video comments. People are calling me the fade donkey. Yeah, fade this guy. I kind of like it.
I want to say, Clyde, this is not directed toward you. We know you're. It's all in good fun. We do get some not as nice comments on the YouTube channel, but again, we invite the comments. Good, bad, and different. We want to hear what you feel about the show, but also, like, we're gonna fire back if we want to fire back. Like, that's how it works. So, but TB, go ahead, Mariners A's.
Yeah, call me the fade donkey. I love it. I'm plus 65 units on the year. Fade me. Go ahead. You'd be minus 65 units. So go ahead. Call me the fade donkey. So these two pitchers have excellent numbers against the batters they're facing today. Both of them have OPSs in the 500 to 600 range and batting averages of less than 200. So taking a look at the first 5 total, it's 5. And I think it's 5 because of this little pinball ballpark that they're playing in. So I think under 5 would be the way to go here for the first 5 innings. I'll think about making it my parlay leg too, because I like both pitchers too, actually. My numbers rank these pitchers very mediocre, right around 15 for each of them on a curve of 30. So yeah, okay, mediocre, that's fine. But neither lineup is really striking the fear of God into anyone. And at the moment, at least, I think the A's lineup is more dangerous than the Mariners lineup. But I think the Mariners have the better pitcher today. So given that, I think under 5 in the first 5 innings would be a really good play. I haven't put it out as a client play. I might later, but I sure will. I'm going to make that my parlay leg. Darn it.
We're not going to let you do that. Brian just used this game for the parlay. So you're going to have to pick something else. Okay. Yeah.
I'll do a different game. I'll do it. That's fine. Yeah. I'll do a different game later. But I recommend you guys betting it. Put a 2% play on it, maybe. That's how I would do it.
And you know what? Yeah, Brian got to it first. I was thinking, there's a game I love today. I made it a 5%er. There's not much else that I really like at this point. And Brian, I was with you. I thought this was I've been very pro Mariners to this point, but I can't ignore the splits against the lefties. And after they won yesterday and beat Gage Jump, had to use a couple bullpen guys, this feels like as good of a spot as the A's can ask for. And so I'm with you. I like the A's, and Brian got into it with the parlay. So that'll be leg number 1 of the parlay, A's plus 112. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I just want to point out they haven't faced the lefties since last Friday. And granted, it's just one game. You don't know who the pitcher is. I don't remember. I don't remember what the hell happened yesterday. Shit. I throw everything out of my mind. I don't worry about what happened in the past. Worry about the future. But last Friday against lefties, they used Patrick Wisdom, Ref Schneider, and Victor Robles as opposed to Josh Naylor, Luke Raley, and Dominic Canzone. That's why they're not good versus lefties, because they've got these guys that are fringe major leaguers and 4A players batting against lefties when they take their better players out of the lineup. So, yeah, you're getting less of an offense here. And I'm a Seattle fan. I still think Seattle's one of the teams to beat in the American League. I just don't like the matchup today.
Yeah, and they did face a lefty last night, of course, in Jump. So Jump's a lefty. So they saw one last night, but again, they didn't hit particularly well. They did enough. They got 4 runs, but it's not like they were, it's not like they just were crushing him. So let's go to Mike. Speaking of Seattle, we're gonna go to Mike Scott. He's in Seattle. But I love when Mike. So first of all, appreciate the donation, Mike. And Mike always donates, and instead of giving us a game, yesterday he's like, I want a team total. I want so today he says, give the people a run line play. So Tokyo Brandon, you picked the game yesterday that we talked about for Mike, and we ended up crushing it with the Yankees and Royals. So I'm going to go back to you. Pick a game that's got a good run line option for Mike Scott. What are we looking at? I'll give you a second. Put you on the spot. I'll give you a minute to decide.
You asked Brian, right?
No, yes.
No, I asked you. I'm going to you first because you gave us the Yankees Royals game yesterday that we crushed the handicap on. So I'm going to go back to you.
What are they asking for? A total? Sorry, Mike, I was intent on typing my comment there.
That's okay. That? Mike wants a good run line option. So this means a plus run 1.5 or a minus 1.5. Any run line you can find.
Got it. I've done my homework. I'm ready. I was looking at the Dodgers, but actually the Dodgers minus 1.5 is actually minus 170. That's a little bit outrageous. I would say Yankees run line. I think that would be a good one. You could take them on the money line at minus 155, but I think a Yankees run line will probably win. They have all the ingredients to make that win. The only thing that scares me is the fact that they won so convincingly and scored so much yesterday. I'm not a superstitious guy, but these things are real. Like sometimes teams just run out of runs. Sometimes it happens. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you suggestion number 2, and it's a game that we haven't talked about yet. And I won't go too long because I've been talking too much, but I think the Reds against the Mets. I don't know why this game is the line to me seems weird. I would, for some serious plus money, you could take the Reds on the run line here, I think, because I don't know. The Mets seem very listless to me. The Reds bullpen is a concern, but Abbott's numbers against them are, let's see, where do I have him on my Twitter? Oh, he's got an 881 OPS against these batters. But man, I think the Mets are in a little bit of chaos. So if, just a flyer, like for good plus money, I think the Reds might be a decent one. What do you guys think about the Reds?
Yeah, let's get Brian in here. So of course you would need to go, if you go, some sites are listing Reds plus 1.5 right now, but all these sites have alternate lines. So you can find a Reds minus 1.5. Yeah, you can find a Reds minus 1. Well, they are. That's the thing. The Reds are an underdog right now, so they're listed plus 1.5 is minus 200. But you can get the minus 1.5 for the Reds. I don't know what it is. I don't have it in front of me. You're probably still looking at like what, plus 160, something like that on that.
Yeah,
you're telling me a 29 win team with a winning record on the road is an underdog to a 22 win team that has an opener going. I don't understand it.
Yeah, Mars in the chat says minus 1.5 minus plus 157. Brian, I'll throw it to you. I kind of like him in with Tokyo Brandon in the respect that like I think there's some value on the Reds in that plus 105 to plus 110 range. He's right. The Mets have been. I saw something last night where it's like Bo Bichette's trying to talk to Soto in the dugout. Soto's just not even paying attention to him. It's like that. This Mets team has had issues all year, chemistry wise. It just doesn't really feel like a team that you want to be on a day-to-day basis. And Jonah Tong. I don't know if it's going to be him. Are they gonna do the opener thing and then let Tong follow the opener again? Like I bet on it last week. It did work out. I thought he was pretty good, but the Mets still ended up losing that game 2-1. It is your guy, Brian, Andrew Abbott for the Reds. So Reds Mets. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, if you're going to lay the 1.5, I can see as high as 170 out there right now, but 153 is the lowest. You can also take the plus 1.5 and minus 200. But yeah, Brazoban will be the opener. Tong is going. They said Tong will be a long inning guy today. They didn't say when he's going to be used. Last time he was used the last few innings, which kind of was strange. I think he pitched 3 innings the last 3 games.
They used it. They went opener, Manaya, Tong last time. It was odd. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's actually talk that Manaya will be going back into the rotation. And the guy who pitched yesterday, who had pitched so much better, is the added guy, the extra guy after the opener. He did not pitch well yesterday, but anyway, that's the way they're going to play it. But I agree. Abbott's a guy that finds ways to win. Cincinnati right now is playing some pretty good ball, and the Mets, every time I think they're going to turn it around, and they have turned it around for a couple of games, they can't sustain it. And there is something going on in that locker room. Obviously, without having your shortstop playing one of the leaders in Frankie, that him not being in the lineup hurts. Obviously, offensively, defensively, but it also hurts because he's more of a leader on this team. Sosa should be a leader. Maybe he's just frustrated with himself. Who knows what's going on there? But if I'm playing that one, that's the way I look at it. I like Cincinnati. I do have another one. If you're done speaking about it, Trigg, I'll talk about another game.
I just wanted to throw. I'll go right back to you. The final thought I had on Reds Mets. I think it's a pretty good underplay. It's not going to be easy for the Reds to figure out. Brazoban, potentially Tobias Myers. Maybe they're probably going to go to Tong and bulk. I don't really trust the Mets hitting right now. I'm only at 7.4 on a total for this game, and it's like 8.5 right now. So I actually like under the best of anything we talked about in that Reds Mets game. I like the under 8.5. Back to you, Brian. Throw us a game.
I usually don't get too involved in the minus 1.5s. The reason being, teams, all they care about is winning the game. You go to extra innings and you see it so often. They don't pay. If you got a 2-run lead, the road team scores 2 runs. The home team doesn't care. They what's going to happen. And so I don't usually lay 1.5. But since he's asking about it, there is a spot here where I can get a major pitching matchup with what could be the better team, even though the record doesn't show it right now. And that's the Philadelphia Phillies here. Sanchez, the lefty, going against Buehler. And I've tried to go against Buehler as much as possible. He's very consistent. Hats off to him to getting back in the league, by the way, and becoming a full-time starter with what he's had going on. I'm supportive of that. But Sanchez right now is going for the all-time Philadelphia Phillies record in shutting out the opposition. He is number 2 right now, and he has been unhittable. And he's what I consider one of the top 4 pitchers in Major League Baseball anyway. And you're getting him here at minus 1.5 at plus money. You can get him as high as plus 117 out there, as low as plus 106 or whatever. I see one out there. Most of them are about the 110 range. But you've got a Phillies team, and they're throwing the lefty against San Diego. And I spoke about Seattle, how poorly they do against lefties. Here are the Padres, 75. 75 is the only team that they're better than, or the Rangers by 1 at 74, and we know the Rangers can't hit at all, and the Colorado Rockies. So you've got a guy who has been dominant, and he's playing against a team that doesn't hit lefties. And, if Philadelphia wins the game, and the line is telling you they should win the game, the current line right now for Philadelphia is in the 155 range. You can get them, instead of laying 155, you can get them at plus 110 to win the game by 2 instead of 1. Yeah, if I'm looking for one of those, I think Philadelphia's a pretty good spot here.
Tokyo Brandon, the Padres seem to be my kryptonite now as well. Can't seem to get them right either. Used them for the parlay yesterday. Thought it was a great spot. They lose 4-3. So how are you seeing this one? Phillies, Padres, agree or disagree with Brian?
Yeah, the Padres. By the way, guys, you can get a double play. 2 of the 3 of us for 3 days. Huge discount. And if you only like one capper, you can get a triple play. It's a 3 days for 30% off for any capper at WagerTalk. So get a special, guys. Ride with us. We are giving you great information on the show, but if you want to reward us a little, you can grab one of our plays or one of our specials. It would be greatly appreciated. So regarding this, yes, the Padres are kind of like the Drake on Seinfeld. Everyone says, I hate the Drake. I hate the Padres, man. I hate this team. Christopher Sanchez, top 5, man. I've got him, according to my numbers, he's the number 1 pitcher in all of Major League Baseball. I got my top 5 are Sanchez, Schlittler, Mizorowski, Davis Martin, and Dylan Cease. And number 6 is Reed Detmers, if you can believe that, an Angels pitcher in the top 10. Holy cow! But anyways,
He's good.
Numbers.
I like, yeah.
Numbers change though, so this is not chiseled in concrete. This is not the 10 Commandments here. Things change, and smart people change with facts and results. So if you get too stuck in your ways, you're not going to be a good bettor. So, anyways, regarding this one. Phillies also, I think, would be the only kind of way to go, but there is a big red flag for me. Number 1, the Padres, let's see. Both bats are quite cold. Both sides are quite cold. And the other thing is, if you look at my Twitter X, Sanchez, I've got him ranked towards the bottom in the matchup today. So the Padres have actually gotten to him in the past, which makes me want to hold off. And the second thing that makes me want to hold off is I hate the Padres because they kill me every time. But if I had to bet it, Phillies would be the only way I could go.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I thought part of the reason that I sort of also like the Padres yesterday is I felt like they lose the opener of this series. I felt like yesterday was like the all-in moment for them where they were going to be like, we got to get this one. We got to go all out with the bullpen. We got to make sure we win this one because we know we're up against Sanchez on Wednesday, and that's not going to be a favorable spot for us. Now they lose a close game, and they lost on Sunday against the A's. It just, I don't have the good vibes about the Padres right now, and you're going to have to go against one of the best pitchers in the league. So I'm kind of with you guys right there. I lean toward the Phillies as well. Bryan Leonard, I'm coming back to you. I'm going to throw a game out there. I'm very quickly going to give my parlay leg. I'm going to use that under in Reds Mets. I'm going to go under 8.5 Reds Mets. We've already talked about the game. I like what the Mets are going to do with their pitching enough where I don't think they're going to get blown up by the Reds, and I don't really trust the Mets to hit right now. So I'm going to use that Reds Mets under. But the game I want to talk about, I want to see if you're willing to go back to the well with the under in Braves Red Sox, because yesterday kind of got blown up by a couple home runs. Today, you've got Bryce Elder, who has remade himself as a pitcher. I guess, playing around a golf with Greg Maddux and listening to how to, letting him teach you how to throw a sinker or a changeup will do that to you. And then you have Connolly Early, who's a guy that I've really liked at points in time this year. So do you think you were a day early on the low scoring game, Bryan Leonard?
I may have been. I always am fascinated. Maybe got some concussion in me or whatever, but I'm always fascinated by the names of the pitchers. And this is the Elder versus the Early. And since I'm closer to Elder than I am Early, I just thought this was a funny matchup. Elder going for Atlanta, and he's been really good this year. He's found, that TB just talked about. You have to be able to change your mind with more information. And the more information we've gotten out of Elder is, he's been pretty good this year. And the numbers back it up. He's about a 110, 115 favorite here early at home. The total is 8.5. You can get some 8s out there. But Early's the lefty. The Braves hit righties slightly better than lefties, but they're still, I believe, 106 on the season against lefties. So they have been able to do that. But this Boston offense, I do not trust this Boston offense. I don't know what's going on there. They have so much good young talent on this team, and they're not a very smart team. They don't do the things to move on to runners. Offensively, I don't trust the Boston in this game. So it's either Boston team total under, because we've got, if you take a look at Atlanta, let me just take a quick look at their bullpen situation here. Atlanta from the bullpen, yesterday they did use their top guys. They used Iglesias, Suarez, and Lee, but they hadn't used them the previous 3 days. Now, Iglesias threw 25 pitches yesterday. He kind of struggled a little bit in that regard, but none of these guys have pitched the previous 3 days, and Kinley has only pitched. He pitched last Saturday. He hadn't pitched anything since. So they're going to be able to use their guys for their best relievers here. So I kind of like the Boston team total under, or I wouldn't have a problem with the under here. Let me take a quick look at my weather situation to see how the weather is going to be. The weather here is they're expecting 11% more runs. The winds are blowing in a little bit. The home runs are down 8%. Yesterday it was supposed to have been down like 24%. That didn't help. That wasn't the case. So yeah, I somewhat lean with the under here. Also lean with Boston team total under. And since you're getting it near a pickup situation, we're getting the team total at 3.5 under, and you can get them at plus money. So two different ways to look at it, but I'd like to fade this Boston offense a little bit.
TB, do you think people should be like putting more stock into the fact that one of the best pitchers in the history of the game showed Bryce Elder how to throw a pitch, and he is now grading out as one of the top starting pitchers in all of Major League Baseball? Should we be putting more stock into that?
Well, the results speak for themselves, really, no matter who's been teaching him. That's what the Fade Donkey says about that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, there's a lot of great pitching coaches in Major League Baseball right now. And a lot of guys, you sometimes the casual fan will say, how is this guy so terrible last year? And this year he's suddenly so good. It's because they get good coaching. I mean, you see these Rays pitchers, man, these guys come out of nowhere and start throwing like Rasmussen and McClanahan. That's good coaching. I'm not saying these guys are nobodies, but they're not household names, and they're just pitching lights out, Said for coaching and advice from legends, especially guys like Maddox, who, when he got older, he still found a way with that. When he lost his fastball, he still found a way to get outs. And so those cerebral guys, like Trevor Bauer, is going to be an amazing coach someday too. These cerebral guys, just they're a wealth of information. Regarding this game, this is the closest game I have on my card today, as far as the closest matchup. I don't have a lot of data, pitcher versus batter here, but both bullpens are top 10, and both lineups rank 11 out of 30. So it's all up to the pitchers. And I got Bryce Elder ranked a little higher than early, but like you guys have said in past shows, early passes the eye test. I kind of like what I see from him, so I don't really want to go against him. This one is just too tight for me to call.
Yeah, I just can't get over the fact that Bryce Elder right now, he's basically throwing 3 pitches. He's going 4-seam slider, sinker. Those are the majority of his pitches, and no one can barrel him up. He is grading out as good as any pitcher in Major League Baseball. It is. He's got the mix down. The location is really good. The sinker is specifically the pitch that I guess Maddox sort of helped him tweak. That's now become very difficult to hit. I don't think you can ignore that. I again, from what he was to what he is right now, it's almost hard to wrap your head around how good he's been relative to what he was. But I guess, remember, he was an all-star his first year in the league. He had that great start and he sort of fell off. But on the other side, Connolly early, I still think he has a lot of upside. And the Braves, I've said this a couple of times, are a team that I'm sort of willing to fade right now. I think their offense comes back to earth. So this is another under I do like quite a bit. I think under 8.5 is another good bet here. And LM Lust says, Adam talks about MLB on here, and then he bets on the minor leagues. Well, I bet both every day. Yesterday I had 2 minor league bets, and my Major League Baseball bet, which I did bet, got washed because of a pitching change. But I bet on both every day. And I sprinkle in some KBO, as does my guy Tokyo Brandon, who had a nice KBO winner this morning. But now we need a winner from you, TB, to close out the parlay. So game to you. What are you looking at to close out the 3-teamer?
Yeah, I thought, before the numbers came out, this is what I like to do is I make my notes and I said Ohtani to get the win. And then when the numbers came out, Ohtani to get the win is minus 270. Are you freaking kidding me? That's
big
crazy.
favorites today. Yep.
I mean, to get the win is usually plus money for anybody because three things have to be accomplished. You have to be winning when you come out, you have to finish 5 innings, and your bullpen has to hold the lead. So it's very difficult to get a win. Minus 270, you cannot bet that unless you have a lobotomy. So I think I'm going to go with the Dodgers team total in this one. I'm debating between Dodgers team total or Yankees money line. Heck, we'll go with Yankees money line. Sorry, I'll switch it up. Yankees money line, and we covered the game already, so I won't go on and on about it.
Well, we covered the game, but we can continue to talk about Dodgers Rockies. Listen, they're playing baseball tonight at Dodger Stadium. The line is what the line is, but we found it. We nailed this one yesterday. As hard as you could hit a game, TV comes on. He's like, "There's gonna be 20 runs in this game. There's 20 runs in the game." So let's just finish talking about Dodgers Rockies. TV, what would your bet be here if you were going to bet Dodgers Rockies?
If this was game 1 and both teams rested yesterday, I would say the Dodgers are going to beat them 13-1, but it's not. And like I said, I'm not a superstitious guy, but you have to adapt. And in my years of doing this, you find that when a team explodes for 13 to 15 runs one day, they usually don't do it the next day. Although the Dodgers are very capable of doing it. And Pages looks like one of the best hitters in MLB right now. But he's making up for Tucker and Mookie's lack of production, although Mookie did come out yesterday. But if I were to bet this, I don't know, man. Ohtani's outs prop is 18.5, and I don't think he's going to get there because I think they're going to pull him right away after he gets 6 innings, even if it's an 8-0 game or whatever. So I would say Ohtani under 18.5 outs might be a decent play here. I think they're going to be careful with him, and he'll get 18, but I don't think he'll pitch in the 7th inning. So that's how I would go.
Yeah, I'll throw that one to Brian. I actually think that's a decent thought. Ohtani had back-to-back 7-inning outings, and then he only went 5 his last time out. The guy has a sub-1 ERA and a sub-1 WHIP right now. He's clearly making his case for the Cy Young. I'm kind of with TB. I don't think they have to push him into the 7th inning here. How are you seeing this one, Brian?
Well, first of all, I mentioned Pages yesterday for a home run, and that happened. Mm-hmm. I said you're not going to get much value betting on the major guys, but that one worked out well. I read all day and all night about baseball. If I'm not watching a game, I'm reading about it. I believe Ohtani got pulled from the game. They pitch hit for him late yesterday. I think it was because did he get hit by a pitch or something to that effect? So we may not be seeing Ohtani in the lineup today. They did that earlier, where when he was pitching, they didn't let him hit. If that was the case, I would be surprised if Ohtani is in the lineup today. Obviously, they want him to pitch, and maybe he's okay to do that. But if he did get hit on the hand, I don't remember. If anybody in the chat remembers, I didn't watch that game. I was watching the hockey game at the time, but that could be something you want to take a look at there. But I'm in agreement with TB. When teams really have a breakout game, you rarely see it in back-to-back games. And if good teams have a game where they don't hit well, they usually bounce back pretty well. Sometimes they don't. It happens. You do get in a slump, but when you've got as many good hitters as a team like the Dodgers have, it's hard to keep them down on a day-to-day basis. So I'm not going to lay that big number on the Dodgers here. They have already shown when they go to Colorado that sometimes they take Colorado lightly. And coming off a game in which you score as many runs as they did yesterday, I could see it happening again. Does that mean I want to bet Colorado? No. But it would not surprise me if they get more of a game than what this line suggests.
I don't like this as much as the previous two games we talked about, but this kind of feels like another under. I just don't know that the Rockies get much off of Ohtani, and Sugano really hasn't been bad. Like, does a decent job throwing strikes, mixing it up. Like, I agree with both of you. You just had this huge outburst of runs. Like, it's 8.5. I mean, even if it's this could be a 6-1 Dodger win, like something like that. 5-2, even 6-2. Those all get there at the total, but I don't have as strong of an opinion on that one as I did the previous two unders we talked about, which were Braves Red Sox, and then of course the one I'm going to use for the parlay today, Reds Mets under 8.5. Brian, can you give me a money line on the Reds Mets under, just the juice on it, and then the Yankees money line that TV is going to put in the parlay?
Okay, the under for the Reds game. If you're going 8.5, it's -120.
Yeah.
If you're going 8, it's like -105.
We'll take the -120. That's what I see on a lot of sites. 8.5 -120. Yep.
And the other game was, I'm sorry?
Yankees money line. It's probably like -145, -150, something like that.
155 is what I saw.
Yeah, but it's about 150 right now.
We'll take 150. Yeah, I saw some -147s as always.
40,
Shop
there is some
around. We're just,
47, a couple 47s and a 48, but there's more 50s and higher than
yeah,
there.
we'll call it -150. So yeah, that is the parlay for today. We are gonna go. We got a day game with A's +112 for Brian. Tokyo Brandon is going to go with the Yankees on the money line. Yankees -150. These are all full game bets today. And I'm going to go the full game total of Reds Mets under 8.5. That is your three-teamer today. One more time. A's +112. Yankees money line. A's money line. Yankees money line. Reds Mets under 8.5. I have a 5% play in Major League Baseball up today. You can get that on my page. You can also get that as part of the double play package. Pair me with one of the other guys that you see on the screen, and let's have a good day. There's one play in Major League Baseball today that I love. I made it a 5%er, so check that out. And then come back and check us out in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, tomorrow, where we are every single day of the week, except on Saturdays where we're here at 10, and then on Sundays where we get to have a life for a minute. But yeah, we'll be back at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow for more Total Basis. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you guys then.